Hey guys, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. I'm Acacia, and I'm going to navigate you through my first book review. The Singular and Extraordinary Tale of Mirror and Goliath. I gave this book 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I promised you a review of this in my November wrap-ups, and here it is to be delivered. This book is a little bit of everything. You get fantasy, you get steampunk age London, you get dark versus light, good versus evil, you get Egyptian myth, you get fairy tales, you get demons and angels, you get a little bit of witchcraft, you get some lost souls, you get death, who in this book is just a little boy. You get to go down to the underworld, and you get to go to Cairo. You can't go wrong. I loved this book. The font is really big, which makes this book so easy. It's 325 pages, quick, easy read, a lot of fun, and definitely something to pick up if you're looking for something. Honestly, I would say this is a good hangover cure for a book hangover. That would be my opinion. It's a good new world to jump into, but it doesn't feel like any other world you've been to, so it feels like something completely new and fun. This book is narrated a little bit like The Gracekeepers in that every single character, side character, large character, small character, they each have a little moment or a chapter in which they get to give a little bit of their backstory or their opinions of what's happening. Now, there are 2 main characters that you follow, which are Mirror and Goliath. Mirror is a little girl, and she was originally named Myrtle, as she calls it in her former life. As Myrtle, she had 2 sisters and a grandfather. Her 2 sisters' names were Rose and Violet, and her grandfather one day comes home with a clock. They don't know where he got it. A few days later, he's fired from his job. He takes the girls from their, I guess you would call her nanny, and he locks them in the house, and they stop going to church, and they stop doing anything. And he's slowly going madder and madder until finally he takes all 3 of the girls, and her sisters are put in one area, and she is stuffed into a clock until finally Goliath, her savior, shows up, and he takes her out of the clock and takes her away and becomes her official guardian. Now, Goliath, before he met Mirror, which is what her name becomes inside of the clock, he worked in Scotland Yard for years, and he is the product of an Egyptian woman and a London archaeologist meeting and falling in love, and that is how he came to be. Now, as soon as Mirror touches him, he and she are now something not human. So that's their beginning. When you first enter the book, they're both coming back from Cairo. They had been overseas with his father, and they'd been just kind of digging around and seeing what was happening. But he's now brought her back to London, where everything happened, to help her get whatever evil spirit is in her out of her. Now, the other character is John Loveheart. He was a little boy at one point in the story, and he has an evil aunt named Aunt Rosebud, and he is watching her slowly harm his mother. His father has an obsession with time machines. I'm actually going to put this down. And in the obsession with time machines, he finds this clock, which then disappears, and a demon shows up named Mr. Fingers who wants this clock, and he takes his father when he can't show him the clock and puts him into one of his time machines and sends him out into time and space. And now he has told Mr. Loveheart, or John Loveheart, that he is now his son, Mr. Fingers' son, and that he is now Prince of the Underworld. Now, there's also 3 other side characters that are pretty important. Arthur Chimes, Constable Walnut, and Detective Sergeant White. Now, Detective Sergeant White and Constable Walnut and Mr. Loveheart are all in the second book, so they're pretty important. They're just actually a little bit less important in this book. This book in general was stunning and beautiful, and I am so excited that I got to read it. And the thing that's really interesting is there's so many little side stories in this book that you really can't not find one that you enjoy. There's actually a little side story as well where it's overlapping with Jack the Ripper, which sounds like it just makes it into this weird chaotic nothingness, but it works, which is insane. So if you're looking for a good read, something quick, something easy, something fun to sink your teeth into with a lot of fantasy and fairy tale elements, please pick up The Singular and Extraordinary Tale of Mirror and Goliath. I loved it. 5 stars again. I'm so excited to continue this series. Please, if you've read it, comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up and a like. If you haven't read it but you want to, comment down below. Any questions, concerns, quandaries, compliments, or conundrums, please give me a comment as well or send me a message. You can also subscribe to my channel. I would love to get to know all of you guys, and I hope to see you again soon in my next video, which I plan to post within the next day or two. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.